Good afternoon and welcome to Art for the Ageless. This is lesson number 21, Portraiture. First off, I wanted to tell you that we have many, many styles, and we need to ask ourselves the 5 W's. What do I want to do? Who do I want to include in this portrait, and why? What is there special about this particular person that I want to capture? In the first one, I decided I would do a profile, and this was done from a photograph because the woman was a wonderful, lovely woman, and I love the hat. If you can get someone who has a hat, perfect, because that hat makes the person. This gentleman, this again was taken from a photograph, was in my pottery class, and he's wearing his potter's apron and so on. And you can tell that he is a Native American. This was taken in a sketch class from Life. And I liked her profile. I thought she was a very beautiful young lady. He was a model in the same sketch class, so that was done from Life also. This, of course, is a profile. This one is sort of a semi-profile where you still get a 3/4, but I liked the way his nose was made. So there might be some particular feature that you like about the person. Another thing you have to consider is where. Where is this person? What environment is he or she living in? So that's important too. Are you going to include the environment, or is it just going to be the subject matter? Again, this is Ryan, my grandson, and it had to be a photograph. What teenager will sit still for his grandma? Forget it. So he was good enough to sit still for the photograph. Again, a young lady in the sketch class. I would consider this a full face, and she was a very beautiful girl. I think I liked her necklace, her accessories, and so on. Again, the model from the same sketch class. This was done, of course, no camera, just straight him. And it seemed to be a very sad person, I have to say, very sad. So again, this lady is from my pottery class, very lovely person. I liked the way her hair was done, and that's what I wanted to capture. And I was also interested in doing her glasses. So I gave a little bit of a background, not much on her. All right, we're going to start now. Very simplistic, very simplistic. This is the basic things that we're looking for. Everyone has an oval, so I'm starting off with an oval. I know all of us have different faces. Some are rectangular, some are square, pear-shaped, etc. But I'm starting off by giving you just the bare basics. We start by dividing the face in half, and in half this way again, and then quarter, and again, eighth. Between the eye and the nose, the ears are situated. This is mostly true for everybody. You must consider the third eye. Usually, most of our eyes have enough space between them where you could actually draw another eye. Some people, of course, are closer together, but I would say of the people I have seen, the eyes are further apart. Again, eyebrows. I need to give a lot of space for the hairline. Not enough people give enough room for that hair growth and end up with chopped down heads, which is ugly. The lips, of course, a fair distance from the end of the nose. And this part is kind of controversial. because a lot of people have, of course, men have different chins than females, and so on. The female neck is further in than the male neck. The male neck is farther out, of course, and thicker. So there's that gender differentiation. All right, so for now, take a paper and let's look at our tools. We're going to be holding our board this way. So if you want to put your clip here or you want to put it up here, it's up to you. And if you're going to put it to the left, again, I am left-handed, so this makes it a little bit awkward for me in relation to instructing you what to do with your hands and your perspective. So I am going to put 2 of these, and if you'll take up, each person has an oval. Look for the T at the top, because if you hold it the other way, it turns out to look like an egg, and we don't want that. No, egghead. Oh, this crowd is warming up. Okay. So what we're going to do is to take our sketch pencil, and we're going to trace 2 of these here and here. Now, you might get upset and say, well, don't you think we know how to draw a circle or an oval? And I would say to you, yes. But how much frustration do you want right now?
That's right.
0. Okay, so let's just use what teacher spent time doing. Okay, so we're going to trace our oval here. Okay, it's not going to work unless I actually put it down and do it. So 2 ovals. See, that was fast. I was doing this last night, and it was so frustrated trying to draw a nice oval that I finally said to myself, oh, skip it. Just do one and give one to everybody. They'll thank you later.
Thank you. Yes.
Yes.
Well, thank you now.
See? Done. Ready. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to very simply take our mock ruler. You always, when you have things, you don't have to buy everything. You don't have to buy a ruler. This is called a straight edge. That means I can use this for anything I want. So what I need to do first is to judge half. Okay. I say, okay, maybe it's there, maybe it's not. And put my straight edge down. And very lightly, oh, it's just going to fit. Okay. Is she actually making marks on the face? Yes, I am. Make the marks on the face.
Okay.
That little eraser that you see there is not only for erasing after when you're all finished, but it's also very good if you're doing a person of tone to bring out the highlights in the face. It's called lifting up. All right, so that's halfway. And so now I'm going to see, half of that line looks to be about there. So let's again. Half again. See? Okay. We okay? My thing is not dark enough. Ah, good. Okay. And then if you want to do the dotted line up here, again, just judge it halfway. So I need to do this. It's very difficult to draw things in the air. Okay, all set. The next thing I want to do, of course, is to draw the eyes. Now the eyes are going to be where this middle line is. Remember, there's a third eye there, so be careful. I know you want to be perfect, but it's not going to happen, either for me either. That's why when you draw, in something, do it lightly so that you can do the emphasis later. All right? The nose is down here, and you can just simply make either a little bulb, little circle, or big circle, and 2 little circles on the side. Now I'm going to go and show you the next piece because I did it in progression so that you would see exactly what I was doing. All right, here's the first picture, the second one with the eyes, the nose, and the ears. So now I'm going to draw in the ears, which are going to go from the eyes to the bottom of the nose. I figured if I did that, then that most of us would stay together. I'd be able to hold it. So I'm doing this very slowly. This was the first one marked off. This was the second one. Midway is where we're going to draw the 2 eyes. Be reminded that there should exist a 3rd eye in there. The nose would come here, and the ears between the eye and the bottom of the nose is where the ears are placed. Okay? Are there any questions at this point? Okay. Now, did I break it down good or okay. All right. It's important to me that I can convey this to you in terms that you will get it quickly. All right, the next step going along, of course, I'm going to do my eyebrows. Very simple. And I'm going to go down here and just do a thin line for the mouth. And maybe I want a bottom lip, I don't know. So basically, this is the structure, this is your basic structure. And I see up there I have put a little bit of hair. Let's try to finish it off. When you do the eyes, then it's done. Sometimes people just don't sketch anything but the putting emphasis on the eyes. That's all they do. Because the eyes are always something that is staring at you. When you do the eyes, there's that little flicker, that little white flicker, and it controls the direction in which your eyes are looking. So you'll see what I mean if you start to experiment with exactly where it's going. Now from here we can decide, who is this going to be, male or female? If it's female, you have to make a thin neck. If it's male, it's got to be a thick neck. All right, evidently I must have done over here. So all of us should be about in this area. If you want to, I don't know if I can see it from this distance, but if you want to hold it up, maybe I can. Is your pencil dark enough? Okay. What I gave you was a sketch pencil, graphite. I did not give you a carbon. Difference, okay. This is carbon. It is made from wood, all right? It is more crumbly. It's very dusty, so that's carbon. And the mark is very dark. In fact, I'll just, there, okay? So you can see. This is a graphite pencil, a sketch pencil, and it is made from carbon. It is metallic, it's shiny, and when you strike, oops, that's wrong. No, that's the crayon. Where is that? Okay, this is this is my graphite. so this is my graphite, and it won't flake off, it won't crumble, but it is smoother, it's a little slicker. All right, I might as well use the graphite since I don't have it in my hand. Choose what you want to do now. If you want to make a male or a female. Make the eyes a little darker. And it's always best to go from one side to the other, kind of symmetrical. I know everybody is not symmetrical. You will never find a perfectly symmetrical person or animal. So right now, let's get into the more of the features. And I'm going to basically make my own girl. I'll probably do that one over there. Or she might have dark hair, a little bulb nose. We're not getting too much into shading. As far as shading goes, there are different types. You can either hold your pencil to the side like this and do this business to make shadow, or you might do cross-hatching like this. This is cross-hatching. And cross-hatching might be straight like that, or you might decide to have it curved like this. And you'll find with the old masters who used to do their work called dry point on metal plates, they would cross-hatch all the time for their shadows. Okay, so our mouth. If you want more room, of course, you could bring the mouth up closer to the nose. It depends on what the actual person looks like. You can fill in the top of the lip a little bit, a little more emphasis. Give it some kind of a hairstyle. Hairstyles are good with your sketch pencil because they can start to get detailed. And you start to work on the texture of the hair and the shadow. So now we're getting a little bit deeper into what we're doing. We've made a basic face. We've given it a little bit of personality. We decided whether it's going to be a male or female. I decided to make mine female, so to be very careful not to make the neck too thin, right? Now from here, you need to figure the shadow. Okay, where are the shades? The shadows are like in here, where your eyes are. They're also in here a little bit, and usually come to the bridge of the nose. You can also have shadow here. You can have cheekbones. Put a shade on the neck. And maybe some hair down here. Now at this point, you may want to erase some of your light lines or just leave them the way they are. If you don't like it, this handy little eraser is very good and does not smudge. It just has a very clean wipe off. There's also a little brush that you can buy or just use a tissue just to get rid of your lines like that. Okay, let me check my time. All right, let's try, what we're going to do is we'll do a male, but this time, let's do an age progression. All right? So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to start off, do a half, cut that in half, at quarters, and we're going to go into an age progression. I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like. Of course, it entails a lot more wrinkles, a lot more lines. We know what that entails. Don't want to talk about it. All right, so let's figure out, let's do our half again. I think I'll do it with my lighter pencil. All right, I'm going to take the second circle, divide it in half, divide it in half the other way. Doing the same thing as I did before, same thing. Now you understand this is just the basic course in proportioning to start you off. If you have further interest in it, a little bit later, we're going to do, I've put down hand mirrors. We're going to attempt a full face self-portrait. Or if your partner is agreeable, maybe they'll let you do a profile on them. And later, I have brought samples of all the portraits that I showed you initially that I want you to take home and just practice yourself. And of course, you may have my little eggs to help you practice. All right, so what I'm doing now is I'm simply dividing my face again, and I am going to make a male. So men are always a little bit harder for me to do. Okay, so my third, to watch out for my third eye. And there are two ways of drawing. You can either draw in one solid line, or you might decide that you want to make it a little bit jagged. In other words, such as over here, you see this is not a solid line, it is jagged. So you're getting into a style of how you are placing the product on the paper. Okay, I put his nose in again. Doing his ears. Eyebrows. Because a man's eyebrows are always a little bushier. A little bit more rugged. And if it's an older person, well, sometimes there's a little bit of thinning up there. What amuses me is the trend now that men have of being half shaven. Okay, they're like they've got their sort of half of a beard coming out. I hate that, but anyway. So if you're going to do a man, you always got to consider that he's going to be one of these trendy guys that likes to look like he's never shaved at all. And then, of course, you have the mustaches. I mean, there's so many different ways you can draw people. Nobody's the same. That is so true. But when age hits, I guess we're all the same, because here come those lines. Those little puffy lines. Those little scowl marks between the eyebrows. The worry lines in the forehead. But these are basic shadows, okay? These are basic shadows. Everybody can count if you on them. You know, everybody's got these lines going like this. They got the little crow's feet coming out here. They've got the, the more I talk, the more grumbling I hear in the crowd. Okay, oh God, this looks like a serial killer. I don't know why, but I always end up drawing serial killers. Oh, there's another thing. When you get into this, look for your light source, because sometimes that light source will help you. Such as, let's say that this is the light side and this is the dark side. You were all in the class that had us doing three-dimensional objects, you know, the circle and the square and so on. And when we were doing the circle, remember how we would just kind of make a gradation of color? Looking at that. Oh. Yeah, it was kind of like, okay, this is going to be the side where he's in shadow, lurking in the shadows. And this is the side that's the light. So in that manner, that will help you a little bit to figure out exactly. Shouldn't have started in on that. Okay, let's try to make this guy a little bit friendly. Not gonna happen. So anyway, the neck is thicker in a male. And you can give him more hair if you want. What else? Okay, so age progression. Let's put some lines coming down from around his mouth. Then the jowls. We all get jowls when that skin starts to sag. Down, down comes the jowls. Oh, God. Now, if you want to make the face come out a little bit more, of course, you get darker, all right? Bear down on your pencil just a little bit more and to bring out the face. So that's two things you can do. Number one, choose a shadow side. Number two, and a light side. Number two, make darker shadows where you want to emphasize, let's say, protrusion, like the face, or even under the nose, if I want to emphasize under the nose, I would make it darker there. If I wanted to make his nose look thinner, I would try to start at the bridge. I think I'm getting toward the Neanderthal. Okay. Can I take a little peek at what you're attempting there? Yeah, just hold them up and let me see what you're. This is all experiment. How many have done portraiture before? Anybody? No, no hands. Oh, all right. Keep them up. I want to really take a look. Good. Your proportions are good. Very good. Some of them are very light. I can't see them that well. Yeah. Oh, good, good. Thank you. I can see that. Yeah, don't be afraid. The graphic, good. Should be able to see. Very nice. Yeah, they're very, very light. I know I gave you, it says sketching, so it should be a darker pencil. Okay, I think that it might be nice to try a self-portrait. Now, if you would like to do a small one and use the oval, that's up to you. Or if you would like to attempt a full 9 by 12. So let's take a look at how this is going to go down. Take your mirror, of course, out of the plastic. It's only there to prevent scratching. Leave what you've been doing on your table so that, later on we can take a little bit of a look at it. So we're going to put a fresh piece. Let's try a big one, okay? It is a lot easier to do the small oval, but just for the fun of it, do you want to try a full thing? All right, let's see what we can see in that mirror, how much of ourselves we can actually see. Woo! Oh, goodness. Okay. Okay. So if you hold it about arm's length, take it out of the plastic. If you hold it at arm's length, you should be able to see your full face. Right? And then with your other hand, start off with the observation. All right, what is the shape of your face? What is the structure of your face? Is it square? Is it a rectangle? Just observe yourself. Now when you do it, you're going to have to leave enough room for the hair, right? And if you want to enhance it a little, of course, you're permitted. So what we're going to do is do a full in the air with the pencil. So take your pencil now, and in the air, you're going to try to figure out, okay, what am I looking at? Okay, Miss Smiley. All right. Okay. I think I got it. Okay. Having decided, let's do an oval. What else do I have here? Anything to help me? Oh. Okay, I'll get into 3. I didn't do 3/4 or profile, so I think this is difficult enough. All right, let's try this. All right, we're going to start in the air, and you can put the mirror down. What you're going to do is just try, let me hold it this way. Try to make a large oval, and you're coming down. And of course, the first strike is not going to work. So just keep striking until you are happy enough that you have gotten yourself some kind of an oval in the middle of your paper. This is all freehand. This is difficult to do. I applaud your bravery. Now we're going to divide your face in half, straight down. We're not going to use a ruler, we're just going to eyeball it straight down. And it's not going to be a good straight line, it's probably going to be 2 or 3 lines, and maybe they're wiggly. Then you're going to divide that in half. We're not looking at ourselves now, we're just making a basic. Dividing that in half again, and at the bottom half again. So I basically know where my eyes are going to be, where my mouth is going to be, where my hair is going to be. Now the important part is we're going to look in the mirror. So what should we look for? Well, we're going to look at our eyes, because they are, as poets say, the mirror of our souls. So we're going to take a good look at our eyes. This is a little bit hard. Okay, I have to picture the third eye right in the middle. And the eyes, since you already know what one eye looks like, the other eye, basically being the same, shouldn't be any problem. We having any trouble observing? Okay, from there, look at your ears, see what they're doing. See how much of space they're taking up. And make your pencil work very loosely. Okay, very loose. Look at your nose. All I can see is my scowl lines. Oh, God, there's so much work there. This is going to be too much work. And the mouth. And if you do turn out to be younger than you are, I don't care. I mean, if this is how you feel inside, that you look like that, you look younger, because there's the chronological age and there's the biological age, okay? And if you are in your 80s and you feel like you're in your 60s and your picture comes out looking like you're in your 60s, woohoo, that's a win for everybody, right? Okay. Okay, what do you want to work on next? Oh, I just want to skip. Let's do the hair. Just skip over it all. Okay. If you have a high forehead, if you don't want to work on the face just yet, like I don't, I'm just going to start fiddling with the hair a little bit. I mean, I know eventually I'm going to end up with glasses on. That's another thing too. If you start picking at your picture, you are not going to make progress. What you have to do is sketch it in, fuzzy it in, all right? Just fuzzy it in. Okay, I cannot avoid, I know this line, and I know the jowls happened. And I know the bags are there. There's just some things we have to accept, ladies. If you can get your eyes, and they really look like your eyes, that's wonderful. And of course, some of us have our mother's eyes. So if we know pretty much what she looked like, well, basically, we're drawing ourselves. And yes, our eyes were the same. My daughter came to me and she said, I have something for you. You can put it under your eyes and there won't be any bags. I said, sweetheart, I said, you don't watch my show. What are you telling me? You don't see me there. They don't do close-ups of my face. I said, and no, I don't care, and I don't want to put something on my face, that I'm not sure about. She didn't talk to me for a week, okay? You don't like anything I give you. No, we're not looking at this my way. No. Anyway, no, I don't like to put things on my face. See me breaking out during the show. I can say that because she's watched the show. She doesn't know I'm talking about her. Well, let me see. Oh, God, the eyebrows. All right. Well, it looks like I don't have too many wrinkles up there, but I know I have to put my glasses in. Ugh, they're huge glasses. Good luck with those glasses. This helps also in that maybe you start to finally look at yourself. That didn't come out right. Oh, the morning. Oh, forget that one. Oh, please. Please forget that. No, there's no primping on that account. No. This is one person who avoids looking at herself in the morning. It's like, God, I'm glad I'm not married. Jeez. He doesn't have to look at me. God. If you want to put a smile, maybe that would soften the whole thing. Oh, I have condemned myself. Nobody's going to want to come back to this class. Okay. My neck is really skinny. I had such a long, skinny neck when I was 7 years old. They used to call me the giraffe. Mean children. Absolutely mean as, ugh. Well, that's because they were 6 years old, and I was almost 8. Okay? And when you're 8 years old, you are tall. And why did I come to school so last? It's because my birthday was in October, and the cutoff date was September. I mean, what are you going to do, Things like that. I think that's in California, too. Anyway. Well, I didn't want to take two. Okay, at this point, I think I'd like to use the eraser and take out, all the lines you put in. Shh, don't say that. Okay. I want to take out some of those strategic lines that I started with and see where this is all going. How can I pull this together? I know I will tip my pencil to one side and I will do shading. Let me see if I've got any shade. Oh yeah, I got lots of shade there. All right, so if you've got some shade, what you do is very lightly, try to make your face look round with these scratchy little marks. So that one side of your face is a little shaded and the other side is not. And try to round it out. And yes, I've got to be honest, with the jowls and everything else, oop, that didn't come out. No, you don't have to be harsh on yourself, said she as she erased the line. And again, little tiny fine lines are good. Arrange your hair the way you want to. And the last thing you need to do is to show your picture to the mirror or vice versa, because the mirror will tell you, well, that eye doesn't work there, and you should have done that, and this should be darker. I always show my pictures to the mirror. Oops. That again. Oh, thank you, Sean. I know it's not a perfect likeness, but you know what? I've done some artwork today that maybe I wouldn't have done. And that's the whole thing. That if you spend even a half an hour every day just doing something with your artwork, you're going to improve. That's a guarantee. Anyway, that maybe doesn't look exactly like me, but I've got pictures at home that are worse than I've done of myself. I mean, really bad. Can you we want to share with me now? I hear the tittering starting. Hold them up. I promise I'm not going to. Okay, good. Good. More, I'm going to say a few words. More neck. More neck. Okay? I think the neck is where we sometimes. I like the eyes on that one. Yes. Yes, good. I'm not going to say your name, but I am going, in about 5 minutes, I'm going to send Sean around, and I don't want to hear that noise. And, and I want you to put your initial picture where you did the proportion and then the age progression and your portrait next to each other so that we can take a little snapshot. You do not have to, if you do not want to be in the picture, we will not. Just do this with your hand. You're under no obligation to be viewed by the entire world. Okay. Can I see the front row over here, ladies? Oh, nice, nice. Okay. Be generous. You know, be generous with yourselves. May I see this front row also? Nice. Okay, a little light. I'm having trouble seeing. Is your pencil too light?
No, it's okay.
Yeah, okay. At this point, let me tell you, when you do, oh, I didn't ask, the second table down, would you please hold them up? I don't know if I'll be able to see that far.
I drew a profile because I brought my daughter's pictures. I used her as the model.
Oh, nice. That's nice.
know.
You did a 3/4. We're being shy?
I didn't do one on myself. I was still working on the other.
Oh, okay. That's okay. I mean, you can do this at home anytime. And, all right, at this point, let me just go to the last sheet and ask you to make 2 more ovals, because I want to just give you a little bit of practice in doing a 3/4 profile. It's basically the same thing. So let's just put in one more sheet. Take our oval template and just make two quickies. One beside the other. Oopsie. Okay. All right, so the story over here is that when you do a 3/4, you basically have the same oval, but you need to swing it. You need to swing a little. In fact, I should have tilted my oval. Okay, listen, I made a mistake. When you do it, tilt your oval, please. Yeah, no, teacher made a mistake. Flip your paper. Yeah. Okay, so this is what I was trying to do this, and I needed to do this. So take your oval and flip it so that it's heading at an angle. Okay. Okay, so sorry about that. Redirection.
You mean like facing down a little bit?
Yeah, so you're facing down a little bit. Oh no. Oh God.
Both of them are facing down a little bit. One down and one up.
Yeah. If you want to face them in the other direction, that's fine. Sometimes my left-handedness affects the way, I'm doing things in the direction. All right, so what are you going to do? So I'm just going to tilt them a little bit. Yeah, so this is what I did. I tilted them a little bit in one direction. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to swing it this way. So it's not in half. I basically have 3/4 of the oval here and about one, well actually it looks to me like 2/3 and 1/3. That's what it looks like. But this one I am going to try to do in half. These are a little harder to do. All right, so let's just do one at a time. Let's take the one on the left.
So 30
So we're going to do this this looks to me about like 1/3 here, 1/3, 1/3. So we're going to do 2/3. And then we're going to do it in half. Then we're going to do the top in half and the bottom in half. So that means we have to find where are the eyes. Okay, so the eyes are going to be here. I have to watch out for my third eye. And that's another thing when you start with the eyes on a 3/4, the eye that is in the larger portion is always going to be, you're going to be able to see it, whereas the other eye that's hiding behind that nose, sometimes you just don't see the whole thing. So this one's going to be looking down. And on this one, I need to draw that nose. This is why when you're doing portraiture, do your front face first. Learn how to do that because this is harder. The 3/4 is much harder. Profile is simpler. It's the same principles, but the 3/4, it's a hard one. And then your ear, again, you have to watch that it stays within the oval. I'm going to skip to this one. Again, if she's looking this way, 1/3. And if she's looking up, I notice that these lines are going in the opposite direction. So we're getting more of a throat. Eyes here. It has to get somebody to help you with posing, because these are difficult. Since we are drawing to a close, I'm going to stop here. I'm not going to do this one anymore because I think just to give you an initial exposure to the next step is enough at this point. What I'm going to do is go back a pace. I don't think I have anything here. Okay. I'm going to go back a pace. And tell you that each one of these prints is on the table in the back of the room, and you may take 2, 3, 4, how many that you want. I want you to take them home, see if you can get an example of a profile, a full face, a 3/4. And practice at home with them. If you ever have the occasion to observe people of a very in cultural costume, that is an excellent source of material for portraiture. This is a young man and an older woman of the community of the Yumian. And it was done about 30 years ago. during a New Year's Eve, not a New Year's Eve, a New Year's Day festival. So if you can observe anyone in the costume, this was taken from a video. I did not shoot a photo. I was taking videos of them during the festival. So any way that you can get material to give yourself a source that inspires you. Anything where you want to do something, where you feel you have to capture that, you have to have that. That's when the inspiration is on you, that's when you do it. I did a young mother with her boy, I think he was about 3 or 4 years old, strapped to her back, wearing a beautiful Yumian hat. It inspired me because he was so beautiful. So this is what you must do with your art. Find something that you really, really feel that you must capture. All right, so if you would like, please take home your straight edge and your oval. Anything else you can just place on the table over there, and we will collect. If you did not sign in, I wish you would sign my roster if you are new, so I can make a new roster for next time. And with that said, I want to give shout outs to you for coming again. I'm really, really excited to have you here with me. And next time we will be painting. Oh, Sean, I forgot. Would you please go around? Please put out your work. Put out your portrait of yourself and the proportions that we did so that Sean can take a few photos. And please bring the folders back so that we can put your watercolor in. All right? Yeah, please let him see your work. I appreciate that. Whenever I review the videos, which I do all the time to improve them, I enjoy seeing your work. So a shout out to our friends in the UK. Oh, how nice. Nice. You guys really did it. I am surprised. I mean, you're growing so much each time that you come here, and I hope you feel that too, that your knowledge just keeps growing. Shout outs to our UK friends and to my brother Lewis in West Virginia. I applaud you. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you.